Hello, this is Adam with Trans Youth Channel, and this week we're talking about what transition means to us. So, in my experience, there seems to be an overarching stereotype of trans people killing their former selves in order to emerge as this new person who they really are. And while that meaning is incredibly valid, and I know that some of our bloggers do feel that way, and that's what their transition has meant to them. That's not what it meant to me. My experience was one of coming to terms with who I lived as for 25 years and figuring out how that person fit into the story of who I was becoming. So for me, it was not about killing my former self, but learning how to integrate my former self into my true identity. And that was a process, and it is still a process that I'm figuring out. The most tangible aspect of that is my name. My birth name is not something that I hate or has caused trauma in my life. It's not something incredibly triggering. It's not something that I wanted to banish from the world's knowledge. My birth name is something that has meant a lot to me over the course of my life and has meant a lot to the people who love me, my parents, my sister, my other friends and family who grew up with me. And so in that sense, I sort of treasure that part of my identity. It wasn't who I really was, but it was a part of me all the same. And so I like to keep things like my birth name and my childhood and things like that as a sort of precious keepsake, if you will, from my former years. I am happy with my transition. I'm happy that I am doing this. I'm not angry at my former self. I'm not killing my former self. I'm not resentful of my former self. I am learning how to appreciate and respect who I was, because that was who I was, you know? That was me. And as much as I didn't like some of the parts of who I was, that was me. I have happy memories from that time, I have sad memories from that time, I have angry memories from that time. I was just a person. I still am just a person. I will say that now, compared to about a year ago, I feel much more complete. I feel much more satisfaction from my daily life. I feel much more in line with myself and able to connect with myself and with others in meaningful ways. And I feel much more in tune with my spiritual life, with my faith, with the divine, with everything. It's been a good process. It still is a good process. And hopefully it will continue to be a good process. And it will always be a process for the rest of my life. I will always be transitioning, just like you. Even if you're cisgendered, you are always transitioning from one thing to the next in your life. Life is just one big transition, filled with little transitions all the way through. And so that's how I look at my transition. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, click the like button down below and subscribe to us. Alright, I will see you next week. Bye! This week's topic, which is Halloween, because Halloween is coming up, and I don't know what I'm doing for Halloween this year. I'm running sound. I'm running the soundboard for a show. We're doing Carrie the musical.